Grandfather's Christmas stats. 3 hard R's, 1 homophobic slur, 2 sleeping farts, 1 whole peckin' pie. Use the term On the first day of Christmas, my grandpa gave to me 3 hard R's, homophobic slur, 2 sleeping farts. Use the term. That is so funny, real life friend. That totally exists. I would love to converse with you further, but the memes are calling. Okay, goodbye. Beep! Well, good evening, doomers, boomers, and zoomers, and welcome to the Click and Remember. You smell absolutely amazing today, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. I figured since the holidays are approaching, everyone is spending time with their family and their loved ones, and so on and so forth. It also brings out a certain spice of drama in a lot of our lives, because family can sometimes be, camera, focus on me, did not blur, it's criminal. So anyway, while family can be not that close, come on now, you're being very silly. You're being very silly, camera. So while Crimler and the holidays can bring a lot of nice, wholesome vibes, it can also bring a lot of drama and discussions and fighting and traumatized them back moments. And that is why I figured we would look at very Karen-esque behaviors, boomers being fools, and all of the like that always spikes in times like these. So just sit back, relax, enjoy, grab yourself a little cup of something strong, hopefully, and let's get into it together. Enjoy. Mwah. In before YouTube strikes my channel down because I told people to grab a drink while watching the video. Oh my god, encouraging substance abuse. Like, unironically, though. She tried to push him in the water for fishing. Oh my god, I've seen this so much online recently. People freaking out at people fishing. That was the most pathetic body tackle I've ever seen in my life. She just bounced.
That's what's wrong. Call cops. We pay these. I'm going to.
I'm gonna go to the police station. You know they have you on video, literally trying to assaulting someone, right? I think it still classifies as assault, even though it technically is, like, really pathetic. Man, the bounce, though. The bounce is so beautiful. That's just instant karma. Okay, this is a bit of a side tangent, but it's kind of a funny observation I have noticed, at least in my own life, and I would like to see in the comments if you have experienced the same thing. So when it comes to people that are, like, likely to be violent, for example, they come in a few different breeds and sizes, right? It's people that you would expect to get locked up sooner or later. It's people that really can't handle their alcohol, or, you know, people that seek out fights for no good reason. But then there's this specific breed of person, which is very obviously not very physically capable, let's say, like this individual in this video, but they're very eager to just, like, completely jump people out of nowhere and engage in physical confrontation and escalate it from 0 to 100 out of nowhere, even though it's very obvious they would never be able to, like, stand their own ground. I've experienced a couple of these kind of people in my days as well, and it's always incredibly flabbergasting to me. I don't get it. Or maybe it's simply because they have been so lucky in their life that no one ever actually gave them any shite back for the stuff they do. Maybe that's actually the answer to this question. Only one more trespasser and my wind chime is complete. Oh, hell yeah, look at that. You almost got an artillery kill streak there, my boy. That is absolutely beautiful. This is like some r/Mad Lads, but boomers. Can you imagine that if he would actually start firing after people and the police come to his place to investigate him and he literally has like a little scoreboard with empty rounds hanging on it? Care to explain this, sir? Concerning intelligence. Okay, so this guy is emailing his family before Christmas, if I understand this correctly. I don't want any talk of politics this Christmas unless you have the intelligence to back it up. Contrary to what you have said, I have acquired evidence that Republicans are far smarter than Democrats. I scored 98% on this intelligence test without being brainwashed by a woke college. If you want to argue with me, at least match it. We both know no response mean you tried and did worse, so good luck. Look at this results. Your IQ is 98. Yeah, that'll show him. Nothing says high IQ quite like misunderstanding your results on an IQ test. My god, you have done it again, my boy. Emailing your family before Christmas in a super passive-aggressive tone, telling them like, yeah, I don't want to hear your opinions unless you score higher than me on this IQ test. And you have like the most mediocre result on this IQ test imaginable. Like, this is so average it gets. Bruh, come on, man. Jesus Christ. And also important to mention that IQ is hardly a perfect measure of intelligence. It's just pattern recognition, basically. I remember I was arguing with this dude a few years back who told me that he was immune to the Dunning-Kruger effect because he had an IQ of like 120 or whatever. He literally Dunning-Krugered the Dunning-Kruger effect because his ego got so inflated by an online IQ test. I still remember that to this day. Speaking of like nuances when it comes to intelligence.
My BBC, bossy boomer coworker, saw me using keyboard shortcuts. And when she noticed I had copy-pasted, instead of saying, "Oh neat, what a time saver," she told me it was against company policy. Lemau, help.
I can just picture this boomer actually reporting this person to like HR. And they have to go to a meeting and explain why Windows shortcuts are in fact not against company policy.
The phrase "money can't buy happiness" is such a boomer concept. Like, I don't want expensive wealth to buy a gold-plated toilet seat, Karen. I just wish I wasn't crying because I can't afford both spaghetti and rent after working 40 hours a week.
There are a bunch of studies regarding this kind of stuff, and what you see in those kind of studies is that happiness kind of plateaus after a certain amount of earnings. Meaning that the better quote would be kind of like, money doesn't necessarily make you happy past a certain point, but having no money will certainly make you unhappy. Boomers, when you have your own house and pay your own bills, you can do whatever you want. Boomers, when you do whatever you want, shuck the peck at your face. Why aren't you coming to my house to clean my sink at midnight? Spoiled child just because you live in a different state? My wife's boomer family and their racist house decorations. Christmas is in the air. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, we have a couple of sussy-looking towels. Okay, I can kind of see this being like, a case of ignorance, right? Or their parents had some old shady stuff that was made in the 40s and they just kind of haven't cleaned it out. Okay, those dolls are looking kind of sussy. It's not like maybe super obvious, but okay, it's not great. That one is pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Is that an entire shelf? Oh my, are they collecting this stuff? Usually it's like, Megad, I collect stamps or I collect Pokemon cards or whatever. What do you collect, Grandma? I love myself some racist figurines. That's great. I have a passion for blackface. It's so fun. When I saw that first picture, I was like, okay, this ain't that bad. This could very easily just be a misunderstanding or they haven't cleaned it out. They are not really caught up with the times or whatever. But for every picture, it just got worse, man. Oh my God, this is their entire house. What the hell? Bruh, I am crying. Okay, what is this? Mobile order. Enter 4 on the app to check in. No, is she trying to use the phone on the cardboard? No. And then she's pressing the 4. No, come on. Oh my God, this is what we joke about? That like babies are gonna be like when they grow up because they're so used to everything being a touchscreen. No, come on, man. Man, this book is such a piece of shit. It doesn't even have a touchscreen. How am I supposed to read this trash? Okay, this is gonna be one of my, Nostradamus moments, so you better write this down, okay? Write it down. So in the future, in about 20 years or so, everyone is gonna be acting like this, because papers are gonna be so phased out that the norm is just touchscreens. So whenever we encounter a piece of paper, it's gonna be like, hey, Megan, what is this? Why it's not reacting to my touch? A shitty piece of product? I can't wait to see myself on r/aged like wine in 20 years from now. Pennsylvania McDonald's customer recognized suspect's backpack and jacket. Boo! Boo! A McDonald's customer in Pennsylvania recognized suspect Luigi's jacket and backpack. According... Boo! Adults table. Kids table. No one wants to hear your nonsense table. Maybe this is how you solve it. You don't have to go through the drama of, banning people on family occasions. You just have assigned seating. And some of that seating is in the basement. Absolutely beautiful.
It's hard to bring prices down once they're up. It's very hard to do that. Very beautiful. Price is hard, yes.
Whoever name dropped this here, thank you. A generation of sociopaths. Holy shit. How the baby boomers betrayed America. This cover goes pretty hard, man. I'm about 4 chapters in the audiobook. I am thinking I might need to get a hard copy of this and scan and highlight multiple pages because it's full of quotable content. The author, a Generation Xer, really lays out the case that we are largely in this predicament because of the boomers.
Well, I don't know there, man. I think this book can be very easily debunked. Have those little kids, aka millennials that are 40 now, just thought about not buying avocado toast and they can purchase a house? People just don't want to work anymore.
Can boomers make a single anti-Bernie meme that doesn't make him look cool as shite? Free college, free sex. Sex isn't free in America? Alright, free weed, free healthcare, free kittens? This is great. Oh my god. Free loans, everything free. Hashtag feel the burn. This image just goes hard, man. Free college, free sex, free weed. If you're gonna make like a slanderous meme about someone, maybe you should try to make it, I don't know, not go so hard. What is the opposite of a slanderous statement? Like when you make someone look really cool, but not on purpose. Is there a term for that? Positive slander. I had the absolute most deplorable conversation with a boomer today. I got him fired as a client on my firm. I work for a very large financial services company. We get targeted with scams a lot, and so do our clients. Most have the knowledge to call us when they know they got a scam text or email. And that's what happened with the horrible human being today. He called in, so I looked up his account by his phone number. I let him know that we are aware of the exact text message and thanked him for calling. Usually the exchange ends there. He proceeded to say, on my recorded line,
Yeah, I figured it was some darky who didn't want to work and just steal money from a white man. N-word's got a N-word.
Note, he said the actual words. I told him we don't accept that kind of language from our customers. Ended the call and then put him into effectively getting fired as a client. My leadership saw it the same way and instructed him to take his accounts elsewhere within 30 days, or we will cash them out. I just couldn't believe an actual human being would say those words. I am glad we told him to leave our firm. What a disgusting person. Well, there is racism, and then there's like turning slurs into verbs. Kinda racism. God damn. Boomer-in-laws upset that we're moving out of state because we want to start a family. Being a woman in Texas, I have no desire to get pregnant or start a family here. My husband and I have always wanted children though, so we started looking at relocating to a state with better abortion laws, schools, and OB-GYN access. He is 100% on board with me and doesn't want me to die a preventable death because of asinine laws, obfuscating what qualifies as a life-saving abortion. Texas also has no mandatory maternal leave. The only thing we have is 6 months unpaid edit, someone has corrected me, it's actually 12 weeks or 3 months unpaid leave. We finally told his parents that we're moving this past Thanksgiving, and now his parents are upset that they will never see us or their future grandkids. They both voted Trump, despite father-in-law receiving 100% disability from the VA, and only being able to afford their current home because of good VA loan and exemption from paying property taxes. Where we are moving is a full 24-hour drive away from the East Coast, and my father-in-law refuses to fly because of PTSD. So their only option is to drive or take a Greyhound bus, I guess. That is like such an America thing I cannot relate to. Like when I get into the car, I consider like a 2-hour drive. Pretty far, right? It's rare that I drive more than 2 hours in one direction. And I was talking to some of my American friends, and they're like, yeah, you know, I was driving home to my family over Christmas, and it's an 18-hour drive. And 13 of those hours are in a straight line. What? So anyway, that's some secondhand trauma. It's not really my problem, to be honest, and they've already had their other children distance themselves from them because father-in-law can't stop talking politics. Was ranting to me at Thanksgiving about how Kamala wanted Medicare for all, and that was bad, despite getting VA healthcare and Medicare himself. And then, oh my god. We live pretty close to them and already see them a few times a year. I imagine we will only see them once every year or every other year once we move. If you vote for politicians that aren't pregnancy and family friendly, don't be surprised when young people who want to start a family move to another state, especially when it's something so crucial like abortion. I think a lot of people that argue against this kind of stuff just don't really understand what it is they're arguing against. Most people aren't like jumpy skipping down and be like, oh my god, today I'm gonna have an abortion, hooray for me. It's like, no, for most people it's a difficult decision, and it's not like the most fun thing to do, right? It's just like the alternative is much worse, and that's why it's a very necessary thing to have, just for preventative stuff or life-saving care, or when you have a choice over your own body, or when something horrible happens on an intimate level, stuff like this. Most people aren't excited about getting an abortion. That's not it. It's such like a twisting of what people actually want and what they're concerned about. It's because the alternative is so much scarier.
Enjoy your day, right? I'm just trying to get some bait. We got my property. That's not. We got this Karen right here. This Karen has no life. He got no life, bro, to the point he has to bother me because I'm out here just enjoying myself, you feel me? By myself. I ain't with a clique of people. He said, hey, can you guys come get this black boy from this lot? Black boy. I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be black. I'm very proud to be black. He told, no, you said you was going to get your gun. You said you was getting your gun. You said you was getting your gun, and I got my gun too. So you know what time it is. He talking about he gonna get his gun like we ain't got gun license either. You better what? And I know my rights and wrong, because if I was wrong, he'll be right here on this property, protecting his property. This is free property. That's why he not here right now. Come on.
Yeah, it's obviously not belonging to the house. Like, it's outside the fence and everything, you know?
You gonna wait till the police come. Shut up, Karen.
That Karen at the end, though, is so satisfying. The oomph behind it is just mwah. One interesting thing about these sort of encounters that someone actually explained to me is that you will see these kind of Karens that are obviously kind of racist, right? Use terms as like black boy or son and stuff like that, which doesn't seem that bad out of context, especially if you're a Swedish person just watching videos online. But apparently this is kind of like historical language that is used to patronize people quite a lot. It's like calling someone son or boy in a very demeaning way, right? And also usually with a racial incentive somewhere mixed in it. So that's like a funny little lesson, you know? The kind of things you learn as a Swedish person. Oh, here's an innocent little word. And then it's like, oh my god, it wasn't after all. Who would have thunk it? Racism is alive and well. Goody. Mom left me a voicemail today.
Transcription. There. Tell me, call me when you can. Love you. Hello, hey Siri, read my messages. Hey Siri, read my messages. Hey Siri, read my messages. Face. Hey Siri, read my messages. Read my messages. Hey Siri, read my new messages on my phone. Hey Siri, turn airplane mode off. Hey Siri, read my messages. This is 2 minutes long. This is 2 minutes. Oh no. Those moments when you're like, oh gee, I'll teach the elders in the family to use Siri and stuff because things will be so much easier. And then you're sitting there listening to 5-minute long text messages about someone ranting at Siri.
This one is pretty funny though. It's just like a funny little intermission in this absolute hellhole of a video.
Elon, you can't sit there. It's my presidency. I bought it, Elon. Get out of the chair, Elon.
I remember reading those news articles a little while ago that Elon follows him around like a needy puppy and like refuses to go home. It's really funny.
Oh, Canada. Look, it's so beautiful. This is the Canada that I want.
Alright there, little fella. I hate to burst your little AI-generated bubble there, right? But this is the Matterhorn, which is in Zermatt, which is in the district of Visp, which is in the canton of Wallis, which is in Switzerland. It's not even the right country, man. Oh my god.
Wait. RFK Jr.'s lawyers has petitioned the government to revoke its approval of the polio vaccine. Are you f***ing kidding me?
When I was a little girl in the 80s, I had a teacher who was maybe in his early 60s. He seemed angry all the time and in pain as he walked with a severe limp. Many years later, I learned that he was limped because as a child he had polio. The vaccine hadn't been invented yet, so he ended up with one leg shorter and weaker than the other. I always think about him when I hear anti-vaxxer BS like this. Sometimes it feels like people are so eager to just forget history and what things were actually like before we had so many of the comforts and safeties and medical things that we have in the modern world. It's kind of mind-boggling, isn't it? And a lot of people arguing this stuff aren't even particularly young. You would expect them to have like remembered it because they would have been around when these sort of teachers were like limping around the school, so to say, but apparently not? That's absolutely wild. Boomer parents said,
"We don't watch Fox News." Oh my god, is that their screen? They have literally burned the Fox News logo into the screen because they're watching it so much. Do you realize how much you have to watch this singular show for it to burn into a TV like this? This is insane.
A boomer judged my groceries. Every year my family does one of those adopt a family thing, where we worked with any local charity and buy presents for a family in need. We got the list this year, and there was an additional note that the mother was having a difficult time breastfeeding, and that in lieu of gifts for her, she would like formula. My wife experienced something similar, so of course we bought the mother a gift from the list, and then went to our local warehouse store to get several canisters of formula. When I'm adding them to the cart, a boomer Karen decided to share her opinion that,
you know that breastfeeding is best for a child.
Stop. She looked stunned and started to stammer about the welfare of a child. I am done taking boomer poo, so I told her that just because the geriatric hamster in a wheel in her head produced a thought, she should keep it to herself. Once again, she had diarrhea of the mouth about the virtues of breastfeeding. My brother's wife died in a car accident on Thanksgiving night. He has been rationing the frozen breast milk, but he is running out. Do you want his number to tell him about your thoughts? Oddly, she couldn't speak after that. Post this to traumatize them back. Oh, this post has just traumatized them back in a nutshell, isn't it? But it's kind of like an interesting thing, right? A lot of people out there, they just keep pushing even though it's really not necessary and the other person obviously isn't receptive to it. And it's usually like the most basic crap you can imagine. This is something I experience with my work as well sometimes, when you have someone come to you and be like, oh, have you done this? Have you thought about, you should do this, you should do that, do this and that, because that's my opinion and I know better because I'm your elder. And then you're like, I've done this for 5 years. The input you just gave is like the most basic stuff you can imagine. You don't think I've thought about it in the 5 years? Oh my god, and a lot of suggestions I have even done, but like years ago. It's so weird. I have someone come to me once. It was like a bit of an elderly person, so to say, and they knew what I was doing for a living, and they came to me and was like, oh, have you thought about making videos with other people? And I'm like, okay, you have watched 5 minutes of one of my videos that I've made. I have worked with other people and done collabs for like a solid half decade, okay? Like, you haven't even watched enough of my channel to know what I do and don't do. Oh my god, man, why do people give like this hyper-confident advice? Like it's sent from God. I swear to God. I don't think it's particularly like malicious or anything like that. I just think it's a little bit, I don't know, silly and slightly self-absorbed.
I have great grandchildren. I don't vote for them to have a better world. I will be long gone. I vote so I can live in the world I want to live in.
Because I am the main character, yes indeed. Who cares if my children have a good future or not, as long as I'm happy until I kick it. This is so weird, man. Like, I would imagine one of the like very instinctual parts about being a mammal is that, oh my god, there's something that lives on after me, and you know, legacy and all that kind of stuff, and wanting well for your kids. I guess not everyone is like that, huh? I am white. I am heterosexual. I am 6'4". My parents are wealthy. I went to Catholic school. I use racial slurs. I am homophobic. I have a boat. I'm homophobic and I have a boat. Tinder, here I come. I go fishing. I bullied liberals in school. I have a Costco membership and I use chewing tobacco. I am the left's greatest fear. I don't think anyone is particularly fearful of you. I just think people think you're a butthole. I've seen some people use that kind of logic where it's like, oh my god, if you don't want to be around me, it must be because you're a coward. It's like, no, you're just a butthole and you contribute nothing to my life. That doesn't mean I'm a coward. I just don't want to put up with your BS, fam. I'm sorry. Me, listening to my aunt tell me that all the stuff she read on health blogs that she's doing to increase her lifespan. Me, telling her to stop smoking.
Yeah, you know, I smoke 52 packs a day, but I read on this blog that if you like gargle garlic and then put it in your socks, that it's gonna magically increase your lifespan because it sucks out the detox. You know, if the garlic turns black, it's not because it's rotting inside your socks, it's because of the toxins.
One pretty good rule of thumb I have with that kind of stuff, if someone talks about detoxing or that kind of thing, but they can't mention what actual toxins are being detoxed, it's bogus, okay? Then it's bogus. They're sending their 5-year-olds here to steal your babies. What? My husband and I were at a public park with our toddler. A mother and son appeared, and the little boy couldn't have been older than 6. The child was doing what children do, running around yelling, "Hey baby, come play! Hey baby! Hey, look at this baby!" to my toddler. Which is fine. The mother wanted nothing to do with us, even though the little boy kept trying to get her to be social. It was a little awkward, but nobody's obligated to socialize. I was telling my mother about this awkward experience. My mother is a boomer, and I didn't know she was so far down the conspiracy lane. She told me that
illegal immigrants from Mexico are sending their 5- and 6-year-olds by themselves to steal American babies and sell them into trafficking.
Okay, but I thought it was like illegal immigrants that were the problem, you know, people coming into the country, but you're telling me they have like 5-year-old children soldiers that come into the country somehow and then bring toddlers back across the border by themselves. 5-year-olds. Alright. I then mentioned that the woman was white. Pure silence after that. When the story is retold by her, they will be Mexican, and you barely escaped with your baby. Yeah, that's basically gonna be how the story is retold in a couple of years from now. Isn't that great? Man, this is absolutely wild. Those darn 5-year-old Mexican gang members that are trafficking toddlers. I swear to God, man, what?
Here are my new Trump perfumes and colognes. I call them Fight, Fight, Fight because they represent us winning. Great Christmas gift for the family and great people. Go to gettrumpfragrances.com. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. A fragrance your enemies can't resist.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the perfume industry and advertising can be a little bit over the top and cringe from time to time, don't get me wrong, but this looks like off-brand Fight Club merch. Come on.
What is up with all this cryptic graffiti that some good-for-nothing has sprayed all over our pristine footwalk? Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God, it's so bad.
Cryptic graffiti? Aren't those for construction so they don't hit pipes and cables when digging? Yeah, someone specifically comes and maps the job site, showing where to dig and what kind of hole to dig, and where not to dig.
No, but I think it's satanic. Look at it. I don't get it, so it must be satanic. You see, it's probably Latin or some satanic European language, like French.
Catherine G. I asked my grown granddaughter if I could come by this weekend to see her and drop off a gift card. She said she was really busy during the holidays and I could see her on the 26th. Are people busy 12 days ahead of Christmas? Oh, shy. I pray she will reconsider and show you love and grace in time. I know you were disappointed with her answer. I would be too.
But she is giving you time, though. She's just saying that for the next few days I'm busy because she probably has work and kids and things to fix for Christmas. Like, it's the most busy time of year if you have children and stuff. What?
Keep the card. Someday they will learn, we hope.
Ah, yes, be petty about your grown children being busy on short notice. That is the best way to solidify a functioning relationship.
I am so sorry. It's so sad we even have to feel like we have to make an appointment to see our family. Merry Christmas to you.
What do you mean make an appointment? This is how all relationships in life work. When I want to meet friends or anything, I'm like, hey bro, are you available this Saturday? And they're either like, hell yeah bro, or nah bruh, what about the Saturday after that? This is just adulting. This is like the most basic adulting.
Exactly, but this generation doesn't know that song Cats in the Cradle.
Are you misunderstanding the point of Cats in the Cradle?
We see it with our family, and we are 60, and don't understand this way of having to set appointment with family. It's crazy.
But you're just saying that you should be allowed to show up unannounced if someone is busy. This is a weird attitude to have towards anyone, man. Come on.
No, I believe it's a case of self-centeredness. Hopefully she will grow out of it.
What do you mean grow out of it? She is busy because she has a job and probably kids. What do you mean grow out of it? She's probably 40. Honestly, it's Friday, less than 2 weeks from Christmas, and if there weren't prior plans for this, she may very well be busy. I know my weekends are hectic normally, this time of year even more so. Please don't take it personally.
It's sad when family puts family last. Hope you never do this.
Isn't it you that is being entitled, though? You're basically telling your kids that they can't have any other plans because you might choose to drop in unannounced all of a sudden. That isn't particularly respectful towards your child. You're basically telling your child that they can't have any other plans because you might want something on a zero-notice basis. That's not the same as putting family last, okay?
You can't even get to see her on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
I mean, if they haven't planned to celebrate Christmas together, what is this comment? Are you suggesting the child should cancel their Christmas plans because of a gift card?
I would make time for my parents.
I love these people always morally grandstanding.
Life is too short and mine are gone and would love to see them again and have holidays with them. Sorry, it's your granddaughter. Still, I would make time for my grandma if she lived in the same state as me.
Ah, that's convenient. So you don't actually make time or effort for her because she lives further away. I see. My God. These comments, man. These comments are so rancid. And the best part about it is that she did even make time. She was like, for the next few days I'm really busy because Christmas hectic, probably finishing up work right before Christmas, the kids, shopping, fixing everything, It is a very busy time, especially with the combination of family and work. And she did give you a date, a perfectly reasonable date like the 26th. That's not too bad, and it sounds like you don't have Christmas plans together. But instead they get like this entire forum just ranting about how horrible they are and how like, you should cut them off. They only want money. Or they're just busy around Christmas. What a mind-blowing concept.
The unspoken grief of never becoming a grandparent. A growing number of Americans are choosing not to have children. Their parents are grappling with what it means for them. Yes, indeed, r/I am the main character. It's not about what my daughter chooses to do, if she wants kids or not. It's about me.
In Titanic, Rose throws a $250 million necklace in the ocean. In memory of that one-night stand she had 80 years ago. This is a reference to how few fucks she gives about the children she has since then, who might appreciate the inheritance. Yeah, like, that whole framing about this movie is so wild. Like, I'm old, and I'm gonna die, so what am I gonna talk about? My loving husband, my children, this really expensive necklace that I could just, like, I don't know, sell and invest in, like, a fund so my children and my children's children and, like, 52 generations after me would be set in for life? No, I'm gonna talk about the time I got some really good fucking pipe on this boat from this homeless dude. Hell yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna tolerate that.
Oh, this is part 3. I have seen the previous one, so I'm gonna pause it for a bit. So this guy went into the store and was threatening to, like, slap people around when they wouldn't, like, serve him specific things or something like that. So he was just carrying around, being very threatening, and eventually the police were called, right? And this is the confrontation with the police.
Hey, I'm not gonna tolerate that. You ain't gonna talk to somebody like that. She's here to do a job and run a business.
He looks like such a Karen, man. Oh my God.
When it comes to this job, she can refuse service to anybody she chooses. And if you had a business, you do the same doggone.
You can just see that in his eyes. The brain is just steamy. Like, is this person really trying to tell me what I can and can't do? Oh my God. Don't they know that I have my freedom to do whatever I want in someone else's store? Duh.
I'm not gonna let it happen. That's why you're being trespassed. You don't call people punk just because you don't like something. That's not how this goes.
That's
at
how
all.
it used to go.
Well,
that's how it used to go. Wait.
Oh, well, the things ain't how they used to be no more.
You got that right.
Well, maybe it's time to get with it.
I don't like the way it is.
Well, then don't shop here.
I didn't say I didn't like this.
Well, if this is part of that, and I ain't gonna stand here and argue that
this
with you.
newness of life, I don't like it.
Well,
back when I was young and intimidating and could slap people around the way I wanted to, they used to listen to me. But now when I'm an old piece of shit and I can't do that anymore, it ain't the way it used to be. I miss the times when I could just threaten people and get what I want. God damn it, officer.
This is really what you're saying in front of a police officer. Huh. God damn.
Dominator there, and it's you.
Long time ago, this wouldn't happen to me. I promise you, this wouldn't happen to me. I'd whooped all y'all.
What?
I
Okay.
said, a long time ago, this wouldn't happen to me because I'd whooped all y'all.
Well, it ain't happening now.
I'm 81 years old.
Well, don't start talking like that, because that's goes. I promise
No,
you.
good.
That's not how this goes, sir. All right? You want to be talked down to?
That lack of self-awareness is absolutely staggering. He's saying that I would like to act this way, but I can't because I'm no longer as intimidating as I used to be. But what happens if you encounter someone that is exactly the same as you, but is still, like, kind of in their prime? You know, wouldn't you hate that? These people, man, they're such main characters, I swear to God.
Nobody else does, including me, her, anybody else in this parking lot. And I'm not going to sit here and let you do it to anybody else.
I don't like to be treated this way, buddy.
Yeah, he's getting way more
There's other
respect than he
people,
deserves. Oh
and
my
that's why we're
God.
here. It goes both ways. If you don't have nothing nice to say or do, then don't do or say nothing. It's as simple as that. Do you have any questions, sir?
No.
Do you understand?
This officer is
Step
so
foot in this
patient,
store,
man, I swear to
you will
God.
be arrested for trespassing. Do you understand?
How much that cost?
You go to jail, then you got to bond out, and then when you go to court, if you're found guilty, you'll have to pay fines and court costs. So it's best to just stay out of the store.
Let me go in there and tell my wife I got to stay out of there. Let me go in there and tell her that.
They can
I
tell
go
her.
in there and tell her
They
that?
can tell her.
I can't go in there and tell her that.
No, sir.
She don't even know my wife.
She saw you come in with your wife. It's a small store. She knows. She saw who you come in with.
Give me word to this about me.
How about I go inside with her, we find your wife, and tell her that you're waiting outside?
Please say, appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you for being nice.
Oh my God, this is like arguing with toddlers that have somehow found their way into an adult body. It's absolutely staggering. That's gonna be an interesting conversation for the wife next time she meets the ladies, right? My husband of 50 years was trespassed in a store. Then he threatened to whoop a police officer's ass. Then he was told, like the toddler he is, to go and sit in the car and wait while I finished the shopping. Oh man. Oh my God. Is it just me, or does this kind of show that women back in the day didn't really have a choice when it came to marriage and stuff? Because I refuse to believe someone actually married this dude, like out of their own free will. Millionaire millennials and Gen X are more than twice as likely as baby boomers to prioritize sharing their wealth with the next generation, according to a new study from financial services company Charles Schwab.
There is hope in the future. Yes, indeed. Trickle-down economics. Here we come, baby. Woo!
Boomer burned Fox News logo Chiron into OLED TV.
Is this happening all over the country? Oh my god.
For years, I have warned my boomer father to stop watching Fox News on his 55-inch OLED TV hours after hours because the logo and chirons will eventually burn in. He always thought I was just trying to stop him from watching conservative media since I'm a liberal. It took a few years, but now the Fox News logo and chiron are clearly permanently burned in, and he is pissed. I hope this is a teaching moment for him to listen to me more, but it probably won't be.
Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ, fam.
A boomer fixated on trans kids. My mother is a former pediatrician, so she was thrilled to become a grandmother. Usually her advice on taking care of our 2 kids, 5F with autism and 1.5M, is very helpful, even if unsolicited. But since she retired, she has been spending hours at home listening to Ben Shapiro and his ilk.
Aw, nah, she's going down like the 16-year-old edgelord rabbit hole. Nah.
She mourned the passing of Rush Limbaugh. Her views are becoming more and more conservative and paranoid. Now, I can't have a single conversation with her without her talking about transgender issues. She is consumed with the fear that one of my kids will want to transition. It's gotten so bad that I've started avoiding her calls and rarely go home to visit, 6-hour drive. Over Thanksgiving, I was rocking my son to sleep with her sitting on the couch, ready to hold him as soon as he was good and sleepy. The conversation started out pleasant. How wonderful it is to be a parent, how beautiful the baby is, etc. And then she started talking about how he's a boy right down to his DNA. Okay, fine. If it ended there, I would let it slide. But she just kept going, talking about hormone blockers and genital removal, and how these poor kids will never have a normal life. Couldn't even make it through a nap. I handed her my son and I said, "Mom, shut up and hold your grandson." And then I went and made a real stiff drink. Me running. Keep asking them why they are so concerned with children's genitals. Ask them over and over and over again why they are continuously thinking about children's genitals. Man, the amount of paranoia about this kind of stuff nowadays is absolutely wild, and it's so obvious it's just like feeding a culture war that so many people are just profiting off of. It is so obvious once you take a step back, or you have the luxury to like not live in the middle of it, and you can see like the trends online, and it's fascinating. But man, it's sad. My boomer mom called me heartless. Now she complains I act so. My mom, 61, showed me some AI stuff, and I told her it's fake. Of course she didn't believe me, but I pointed out the obvious flaws. Her argument,
well, still makes me so emotional. Then don't it's not real. Then don't watch it. Oh my god.
She could have stopped there, but then felt the need to add,
you really are a heartless person.
Okay, wait a second. So you're getting worked up and emotional about something you saw online, and then someone comes to you and tells you like, no need to be so worked up, this actually isn't real.
That should be good news. Something made you sad, and then what made you sad turned out to not be real. That is good, but instead like, you're a heartless person. What?
I didn't say anything back, but I am baffled that the woman who bullied me all my life because of my weight has more empathy for an AI video than her own daughter. Apparently, karma works fast for me. An hour later, she asked me for help to grab something on a high shelf. I looked at her cold and said no. She asked again, and I said, I'm heartless apparently, so now I will act so. She was shocked I would dare to do that. Well, frick around and find out, as people say. Every boomer comic. Child, do you want to go fishing with me, your father? There is no fishing with father, only pone. Oh, I wish you were beer. I also hate my wife. Christian Watts, straight on, woke on, vaxxed, gun owner, meat eater, and Trump. Is Trump censored, or is the flag supposed to be a U? At least it's the American flag this time. That's a plus. A Trump supporter. How else can I piss you off today? This is obviously so poorly photoshopped. Oh my god. Wow, the internet is really flooding with garbage, isn't it? I read this fascinating thing, that almost half of internet traffic is just bots. Isn't that beautiful? So I suppose the lesson is that next time you have like some moron in your comments, just assume they're a bot and block them. It is way easier. Oh my god, it saves so much heartache.
Climate change. Can you give me something that isn't completely ruined economy?
You kids just want everything handed to you.
Unaffordable housing, inflation, and wages. I love Extra Fabulous comics. They are so good. I even follow them on Instagram. Check out my Instagram in the description. And also Extra Fabulous comics for fabulous things. Door greeters at Walmart in West Memphis have decided to step up their game when it comes to checking your receipts as you leave the store.
We're not playing around anymore.
Warren's longtime greeter, Buddy Simpson, 87.
When we ask to see your receipt, you show us your receipt, simple as that. Otherwise, I'll shoot you in the face.
Wait, is this just AI? Who made this? Did you AI generate an 87-year-old man fucking packing heat and full body armor in Walmart? Walmart greeters are not fucking around, man. Oh man, the future is bright. I also love how botched the background is in this AI thing, like the prices on the side of the shelves and stuff. And not to mention the gibberish on his like "Hello, my name is" badge. It's just gibberish and pixels. Ah, it is beautiful. Wait, does he also have 6 fingers? Yeah, he has 6 fingers as well. Man, this is bad, even by AI standards. Ah, well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here. The holidays are around the corner, isn't that a beautiful thing? I do hope you enjoyed the holidays, you wonderful, beautiful being, because you do deserve it. And I will see you again in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.